Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where people often hide their true selves behind carefully crafted facades. Beneath these layers of behavior lies something much more telling: their character. If you wish to understand someone's true nature, you don't need a lifetime of observation. Just pay attention to 5 key things. One of the clearest indicators of a person's character is how they treat those who can offer them nothing in return. In our interactions with others, we are often influenced by what we stand to gain, how we want to be perceived, or social expectations that shape our behavior. However, when dealing with individuals who hold no power over us, these dynamics disappear. It is in these moments, when pretense fades, that a person's true values and nature come to light. Consider this. When someone interacts with a person who cannot offer them any advantage, recognition, or favor, there is no external motivation to be kind or considerate. The way they choose to behave in such situations reveals who they truly are at their core. A compassionate and kind individual will treat others with respect and understanding, regardless of their status or ability to give anything in return. They see the inherent dignity in every person, recognizing value in others not for what they can gain but because they believe in the principle of kindness. On the other hand, there are those who might dismiss or mistreat individuals they deem powerless, insignificant, or dependent. This behavior often stems from arrogance, insecurity, or a need to assert dominance over others. Such people may see no benefit in treating someone kindly if they view them as beneath them, and so they act with indifference or cruelty, revealing their inability to view relationships through a lens of shared humanity. It's not just grand gestures of kindness that matter. Everyday interactions, how someone treats a waiter, a janitor, or a passerby, are just as telling. Are they polite and considerate, or do they treat others as invisible or inferior? These seemingly insignificant moments often reveal the most about a person, as they are unguarded and unscripted. A person's behavior in these small encounters speaks volumes about their values, insecurities, and the kind of energy they bring into the lives of those around them. There's also an element of discipline in treating everyone with respect, especially those who can't reciprocate. Kindness in such instances is a choice, often requiring effort and awareness. It reflects emotional maturity and self-regulation. While it's easy to ignore someone who can't do anything for you, choosing to be compassionate, patient, and respectful, especially in a fast-paced, hierarchical world, takes real strength. Moreover, this principle touches on a deep truth. Every person has intrinsic worth, regardless of their social position or contributions. Those who truly understand this act with moral clarity. They don't need external validation or rewards to treat others well. Their behavior stems from a personal commitment to doing what's right. Ultimately, how a person treats those who can offer nothing in return reveals whether their kindness is genuine or merely transactional. Another revealing aspect of character is how a person responds to failure. Failure is inevitable, and how we handle it reflects our deepest selves. Success can sometimes mask flaws or insecurities, but failure strips away all pretense, forcing us to confront our true nature. It is in these moments of vulnerability that a person's character is truly exposed. Some react to failure with bitterness, blame, or self-pity, refusing to take responsibility for their mistakes, and instead pointing fingers at others or external circumstances. This behavior reflects an unwillingness to face reality and a fragile ego that cannot handle the discomfort of personal accountability. Blame becomes a shield against growth, and self-pity offers temporary relief from the pain of failure. However, these responses often lead to stagnation, preventing individuals from learning or moving forward, as they see themselves as victims rather than as people capable of overcoming adversity. Conversely, those with resilience and integrity confront failure head-on. They see it not as a judgment on their worth, but as an opportunity for growth. These individuals have the humility to acknowledge their mistakes, the courage to analyze what went wrong, and the determination to try again. They understand that failure is a teacher, offering lessons that success cannot, and by embracing failure, they turn it into a stepping stone toward improvement. This attitude reflects responsibility and a commitment to personal growth, hallmarks of strong character. How a person deals with failure also sheds light on their perseverance. Do they give up when faced with obstacles, or do they push forward despite setbacks? True character is built in the act of continuing, even when success is uncertain. Those who rise after falling demonstrate inner strength and determination, driven by a clear sense of purpose. Another key aspect of responding to failure is emotional regulation. Failure often stirs intense emotions like frustration, shame, or anger. How a person manages these feelings reveals their emotional maturity. Someone who lashes out or becomes consumed by negative emotions shows an inability to process challenges productively. In contrast, those who remain composed, reflect on their emotions, and channel their energy into constructive action exhibit self-control and wisdom. Failure is an inevitable part of life, and it presents everyone with the same challenge: how to respond when things don't go as planned. How we choose to react reveals much about who we are. How we approach failure reveals much about our character. Those who view failure as an opportunity for growth exhibit a strong and resilient mindset, inspiring others through their ability to turn setbacks into opportunities and emerge stronger after each challenge. Ultimately, it is not failure itself that defines a person but how they choose to respond. Similarly, the way someone handles power offers deep insight into their true character. Power acts as a magnifier, exposing a person's intentions and priorities. When given authority, whether in the workplace, relationships, or any other sphere, many of the usual constraints that govern behavior are removed, allowing their core values and motivations to surface. Power does not inherently corrupt. Rather, it reveals what is already present. When individuals gain power, the real question becomes, how do they use it? Some people use power for personal gain, aiming to dominate or exploit others. This often stems from deep-seated insecurities or unresolved issues, where power becomes a tool to assert superiority, fill emotional voids, or mask feelings of inadequacy. They may demean subordinates, demand excessive control, or prioritize their own needs over others' well-being. Such misuse of power shows not only a lack of empathy but also a fragile sense of self, often rooted in a fear of vulnerability or failure. In contrast, there are those who wield power with responsibility, humility, and a focus on service. These individuals understand that power is not a license to exploit but an opportunity to uplift others. They use their authority to foster environments where people feel valued, respected, and empowered. This approach reflects emotional maturity, confidence, and a strong moral compass. These leaders don't seek to control others. Instead, they aim to guide and support, recognizing their role as one of fostering growth rather than standing above others. Power also tests one's ability to resist temptation. When in positions of authority, individuals often encounter opportunities to act unethically without facing immediate consequences. Whether they choose to uphold their principles or indulge in wrongdoing says a great deal about their integrity. A person who remains committed to honesty and fairness, even when no one is watching, demonstrates a deep sense of right and wrong. Conversely, those who abuse their power for personal gain or ignore ethical boundaries reveal a lack of self-discipline and moral grounding. Another key aspect of managing power is how one responds to opposition or criticism. A person with a strong character remains open to feedback, recognizing that leadership involves listening and adapting. They view differing opinions as opportunities for growth, not as threats. On the other hand, those who react defensively or vindicatively to challenges often show insecurity and an inability to manage power constructively. Ultimately, power doesn't create character. It amplifies what's already there. It reveals whether someone possesses generosity and wisdom or selfishness and cruelty. Observing how a person handles power is a direct reflection of their essence. Those who exercise power with integrity, humility, and a sense of service earn trust and admiration, while those who abuse it diminish not only themselves but also those around them. How people speak about others when they are not present is also a clear indicator of their character. These moments, free from the influence or presence of the individuals being discussed, often reveal true thoughts, values, and intentions. The way a person uses their words carries weight, shaping relationships and reflecting the energy they bring into their interactions. Consistently speaking negatively about others behind their backs often stems from insecurity or unresolved inner conflict. Gossip, for example, can serve as a way for individuals to elevate themselves by diminishing others. This behavior reflects a mindset in which one measures self-worth by comparing themselves to others, using negative comments to boost their ego temporarily. Such actions, however, indicate an inability to focus on personal growth. Additionally, speaking ill of others when they're absent suggests a lack of loyalty and integrity. If someone is willing to criticize or betray a person who trusts them, it raises questions about whether they can be trusted at all. Beyond personal insecurities, gossip creates a toxic environment, breeding mistrust and division. People who engage in such behavior often fail to realize the far-reaching consequences of their words. They don't understand that by undermining others, they also damage their own credibility. Those who hear such negative talk may wonder, if they speak this way about others, what are they saying about me when I'm not around? This erodes relationships and respect. On the other hand, speaking positively or neutrally about others in their absence demonstrates emotional maturity, confidence, and integrity. Individuals who avoid unnecessary criticism and focus on understanding and empathy show that they value relationships over fleeting gossip. Even when faced with someone they dislike or disagree with, choosing to respond with fairness and measured words reveals a deep sense of character. This shows an ability to separate emotions from principles and a willingness to recognize the humanity in others, even amid conflict. In professional and leadership settings, this principle becomes even more important. Leaders who advocate for and uplift their team members in their absence build trust and loyalty, demonstrating their commitment to collaboration and success. In contrast, leaders who criticize or demean colleagues behind closed doors create resentment and weaken their teams. How a person speaks about others when they're not around reflects more than just their opinions. It mirrors their self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and moral values. It shows whether they approach relationships with generosity or judgment, with empathy or envy. Words carry power, shaping not only our connections with others but also our relationship with ourselves. Those who choose to speak with fairness and integrity, even when no one else is listening, display a strength of character that commands respect and trust. Finally, how a person faces the inevitable realities of life, aging, loss, and death, reveals the depth of their character, philosophy, and emotional resilience. These universal experiences strip away illusions of control and permanence, forcing us to confront vulnerability and uncertainty. How someone engages with these truths offers profound insight into their inner world and how they find meaning in life. Aging challenges our sense of identity. Some respond with denial, clinging to youth and ignoring the wisdom that comes with age. This reflects an overemphasis on external appearances and societal standards that glorify youth. In contrast, those who approach aging with grace focus on the insights gained through experience, using their wisdom to guide and inspire others. This reflects humility, self-awareness, and a deep respect for life's journey. Similarly, how someone deals with loss, whether of relationships, possessions, or dreams, provides a powerful reflection of their inner strength. Everyone experiences loss at some point, but the way people respond to it can vary significantly. Some may become consumed by bitterness, unable to move past their grief or disappointment. They might retreat into isolation, building walls to protect themselves from further pain, or lash out at the world in anger and frustration. While these reactions are understandable, they often hinder personal growth and healing, trapping individuals in a cycle of despair. In contrast, Others find ways to incorporate their losses into their lives, using them as catalysts for growth and transformation. They don't ignore the pain but embrace it as an essential part of the human experience. By finding meaning in their suffering, they develop resilience and compassion, allowing their experiences to deepen their connection with others and with life itself. Death, the inevitable finality, is perhaps the ultimate test of a person's character and worldview. How someone relates to the reality of mortality reveals much about their courage and approach to life's meaning. Some people avoid or deny the subject altogether, refusing to acknowledge life's fragility. This avoidance can lead to misguided priorities, as they focus on distractions instead of addressing deeper existential questions. Others, however, face the reality of death with humility and courage, allowing it to shape the way they live. By acknowledging their mortality, they cultivate a greater appreciation for the present moment and the relationships that give life meaning. They learn to prioritize what truly matters, recognizing that life's brevity enhances its value. Ultimately, how a person faces aging, loss, and death reveals their ability to navigate life's greatest challenges. It shows whether they are ruled by fear or guided by understanding, whether they resist life's flow or embrace it fully. Those who confront these truths with grace demonstrate wisdom, strength, and an ability to find beauty even in life's most difficult aspects. True character is most clearly revealed through one's actions, especially in ordinary moments and under challenging circumstances. Words can be persuasive and appearances deceiving, but it is through consistent behavior that a person's true nature emerges. In everyday situations, such as how someone interacts with others, whether they're ordering coffee, helping a colleague, or engaging in routine conversations, their character is on full display. It's easy to be kind and polite when there's something to gain or when others are watching, but true integrity is shown when no one is looking, when no recognition or reward is expected. These seemingly small actions reveal whether a person's kindness is genuine or merely performative. The consistency of their behavior in such moments, and how they treat those they consider insignificant, speaks to the depth of their character. In times of adversity, when everything seems to be falling apart or when a person is under immense pressure, their response becomes a true measure of their strength and principles. Difficult situations often provoke emotional reactions, and while it's natural to feel anger, frustration, or fear, it's how these emotions are managed that reveals a person's true character. Some may lash out impulsively or resort to unethical behavior when faced with challenges, revealing a lack of self-control or the inability to handle adversity with grace. However, those who approach difficulties with poise, responsibility, and a sense of purpose demonstrate emotional maturity and resilience. They don't let external circumstances dictate their actions, but instead rise above their emotions to make thoughtful, well-considered decisions. How someone handles failure is another powerful indicator of their character. While failure is often viewed negatively, it is also one of life's greatest teachers. A person's response to failure is critical. Do they view it as a stepping stone to growth, or do they make excuses and shift blame? Those who see failure as a lesson, rather than a personal defeat, are more grounded and open to self-improvement. They take responsibility for their mistakes, learn from them, and move forward with renewed determination. On the other hand, those who refuse to accept failure or hide from it often lack self-awareness and avoid facing uncomfortable truths about themselves. In times of success, humility is also a revealing trait. Some people become arrogant or self-congratulatory when things go well, basking in the glory of their achievements. Others, however, remain humble and grounded, recognizing that success is often the result of collective effort, timing, and sometimes even luck. Humility in success, along with the ability to share credit and acknowledge the contributions of others, is a powerful testament to one's character. Actions, both in ordinary moments and under pressure, provide a genuine glimpse into someone's values, priorities, and emotional intelligence. While words and appearances can deceive, consistent behavior exposes the depth of a person's integrity and strength. It is through these actions, whether big or small, that a person's true character is revealed, ultimately defining who they are at their core.